Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Power of Attorney. This is the best day of the week, guys. It is Mastermind Monday. So I'm always excited, as you guys know, but Mastermind Monday is really awesome because it is your opportunity to literally ask me anything live. Now, this is not all day, right? It's your opportunity to ask me anything live. So today's topic, though, we are going to be talking about how to build business credit, right? And we're going to talk about the 8 steps to establishing business credit and how it protects your brand. So again, 8 steps to establishing business credit and how it protects your brand. So very important topic today, guys. I want you to know that this is really for you to make sure that you are very well protected, right? So again, today's topic is 8 steps to establish business credit, right? And how that protects your brand. So thank you guys so much for being a part of Power of Attorney. I am, again, super excited to be here with you every single day. I want you guys to please feel free to share this video. Please feel free to answer and ask these questions live here on Power of Attorney. So I'm just going to actually jump right in, guys, and really just share with you a couple of things and a couple of tips with regard to business credit. So the first thing that I want you to understand is when you establish business credit, it allows you to separate your personal credit, right? And actually protect your personal assets and your personal, quote unquote, personal name. So lots of people are confused when it comes to business credit, which is why I wanted to do this so that you guys know that business credit is a lot like personal credit in terms of establishing it. And for those of you that are joining, please share this video because, like I told you guys, we're doing something new with Power Attorney. These videos will not be up perpetually. So it's very important that you share them so that people can learn about business credit today, right? But in addition to the 8 steps to establishing business credit, we are going to talk today about how business credit actually protects your brand. So very important, again, that you guys get that because we want to make sure that you're ready, right? Okay, so I'm just going to hop right in there and get started. So the very first thing, like I said, is that it helps to maintain your separate credit history from your personal credit history, good, bad, or indifferent. And for those of you that were a part of my 7-step framework, remember I told you guys, we talked about the Bail team, and part of your Bail team or members of your Bail team are people in the finance industry, right? So that you can get some money. In addition to that, though, credit also allows you to, or establishing business credit allows you to keep everything separate, because for those of you that have been in business for a while, you do understand, or you probably at least have heard that when you are operating your personal business, right, with or operating your business with your personal assets, believe it or not, even if you have an LLC or something like that, your personal assets could still be at risk because you're pushing everything out of the same account. Now, that's a different topic for a different day. I just wanted to give you guys an example so that, you know, you could kind of get like an illustration of what I'm talking about, just about the impact, again, on your personal credit, your personal assets. The other thing too is, guys, we know some businesses grow and some don't. So you don't want the business failures to now impact your ability to go buy a home if that's what you want to buy, or your ability to go really do anything in your personal life where you need to leverage credit. So that's why it's important to really think about this. If you are serious about your business, establishing business credit. I'm going to give you guys the 8 steps to do that. But I think talking first about how it protects your brand and protects your personal life is probably a little bit more important. Also, you can put your questions in the comment section. This is Mastermind Monday, guys. So good morning, everybody. This is Mastermind Monday. So it is a Ask Me Anything live. So put them in the comments. I am going to get to those questions as I can. So business credit, again, also allows you to demonstrate that there is a true separation between your personal assets, you as a person, and your business entity, right? So what does that mean? That means that establishing business credit will minimize the negative effects that it has from one to the other, personal to business, business to personal, right? Because let's say, right, let's be realistic. In your personal life, you may very well go through some things. I see it a lot with my clients who have gone through a divorce, right? Typically, there's some credit issues that follow that. Very few divorces don't have some type of negative credit impact, right? So when you have your business credit established, you don't have that issue. You don't have that problem because the business credit is a standalone, right? The business itself is an entity with a standalone credit rating. The other thing, as far as like having the separate bank accounts. Now, this is something I want you guys to understand. Separate businesses mean your entity has to be one that's recognized as a separate entity under the state law. What are you talking about, Latanya? You need to be incorporated or you need to have an LLC, right? So you need to have an S Corp, C Corp, or an LLC to establish business credit. These are the only entities, believe it or not, that are seen as separate from you as a person. That's why it's important to have that information. That's why it's important, again, don't do this stuff by yourself, right? Deal with a professional. The other thing too is, like I mentioned at the top of the hour, all of these things really allows you to protect your personal assets from business failings and actually your business assets from personal failings, right? So again, this only happens though, the ability to do that only happens when there is a clear separation between what is the business and what is personal, right? What is the business and what is personal. So those are the things I kind of wanted you to understand. I know I kind of rushed or went very fast through that, but we only have a limited time and I have 8 steps to share with you to establish your business credit and how that protects your brand. So we talked about that part. I want again to talk about now these 8 steps to establishing your business credit, because these are very crucial and very important. For those of you that are in a place where you can write notes, you may want to do that. If you are not, you may want to jot down as much as you can, because again, I told you guys, these videos are not going to just be here and live here perpetually. So you want to make sure that you do that, at least not on this page. For those of you that are looking for more information or more in-depth, more on a regular basis, you're going to have to actually probably join the Facebook group, and that information is in the description. So 8 steps to establishing business credit. Number 1, which we sort of alluded to, is to incorporate your business or establish a true business entity. That's your LLC, that's your S Corp, that's your C Corp. If you're unsure of which one, which entity and all of that, you can always schedule a consultation with an attorney. You can reach out to us. We service all 50 states when it comes to things like that. Again, I told you guys about establishing the Bell team. For those of you that were a part of the 7-step framework, you understand what the Bell team is and how to establish that. So I won't go through that in this particular video. But again, step 1, incorporate your business. That's your LLC. That's your S Corp. That is your C Corp, right? You want to make sure that you have a clearly established business entity. Now, that is not a sole proprietorship, right? That is not a DBA, right? Well, unless it's backed by LLC, but that's a little bit too technical. So let's just talk general terms today. That is not your general partnership. right? So you got to understand that a sole proprietorship and a general partnership, there is personal liability attached. Now, the reason that I'm suggesting that you work with an attorney is because one of the things that your attorney will do is they will make sure that your paperwork reflects in proper terms and legal terms asset protection, right? That's typically always built in to those documents. This is why I tell you guys, do not go online and get these canned bylaws and articles of incorporation and things like that. I'm seeing on the feed, there are lots of lawyers on the feed, and a lot of them do the very work that I'm telling you about. So again, make sure that you deal with a professional in incorporating your business. If your budget is limited, be honest about what you can do, what you can't do, because lots of attorneys, even myself, I've had people that have created their own documents and they've said, LaTanya, I just need a legal review. I don't need you to create the document for me. I just need a legal review. And so then we work that out and it's very cost effective for them. And so again, that's just what we do with brand protection strategy. So step one, incorporate your business. Step two, get an EIN from the federal government, a federal EIN number. That stands for federal. FEIN stands for Federal Employer Identification Number. You must have an EIN for your business bank account. You know why? Because otherwise it's connected to your personal social security number. That defeats the purpose of what we talked about initially about separating, having a clear separation with those assets, right? You can find out more about getting that EIN. That is actually issued directly from the IRS, the Internal Revenue Service. So again, that's kind of self-explanatory in terms of getting that EIN, but you can get that through the IRS. The other step three, open a business bank account, right? Remember, we talked earlier about what happens sometimes if there is you get sued or something like that, and then now all of the operating funds are coming out of your personal account. It's kind of hard to say that this is a separate entity, right? It's kind of hard to say, well, my business has nothing to do with my personal life when all of your funds are coming out of a personal account. So you need to make sure that you establish a business account. That's step three. Step four, get a business phone number, not your cell number, not Google Voice, none of that, right? You need a legitimate business phone number in the business name. A legitimate phone number in the business name. Again, separation, separate entity, not a cell number, even if the cell number is in the business name. Do not use a Google Voice number. Now, again, we're talking about the steps that you need to take to establish business credit. And this is just the preparation thing. We hadn't even talked about, which we're not talking about in this video, because this video is about the preparation stage, the steps that you need to take to be prepared for business credit. Okay. So again, establish that phone number, open a business credit file, right? The business credit agencies are different from the regular credit bureau reporting agencies, right? So you need to make sure that you open a business credit file, right? The third thing, after you've done all that, so let's go back for the people that are just joining. You've incorporated your business with the proper entity, which we talked about at the top of the hour. You've reached out to the IRS and got your FEIN number, your Federal Employer Identification Number. You now have opened up your business bank account in the business name. You now have established a business phone number, a legitimate business phone number in the business name. That was step four. Step five, now obtain a business credit card. It should not be linked to any of your personal credit cards or your personal line of credit or your personal accounts, right? So it does not need to be now a subset of that. So you need to understand when you go and get this business credit card, it could be a secured card, just something to start the process, right? Remember, in the 7-step framework, I told you guys about the Bell team. See, this is why you need this Bell team, so that they can work with you on these things if you're unsure of how to do these things on your own. And again, you can always reach out to us. So again, your business credit card should not be linked to any of your personal cards. You can also, or you should also, in addition to that, establish a line of credit with your vendors and your suppliers. Very crucial, very important, right? Establish a line of credit with your vendors and suppliers. And they need to be people that report, right, to the business credit, to the business credit entity, which we're going to talk about in a few minutes. You need to make sure, right, that you do that. Okay, so again, the last thing, right, which we know this in our personal credit, is pay your bills on time, just like you would with the personal credit. Your personal credit card, your business credit card, you treat them the same way, in the sense that your business is for business, your personal is for personal. What does that mean, Latanya? Well, that means that anything that you purchase on that business credit card needs to be for business use and business purposes only. It's a great way to track all of your expenses, so you don't necessarily have to keep up with all of your receipts, because you have a record. By establishing a line of credit with your suppliers and your vendors, you don't have to now spend your operating capital for, let's say, supplies, for stock, for any type of inventory, and all of those things that you need. Even services. There are a lot of service providers, even like myself. I extend credit, right? Now you got to pay me, but I extend credit for people that can't afford services. The interesting thing is people normally don't ask about it, right? And so again, there's nothing wrong with, if you are approaching a service provider, let me give you guys a tip. If you are approaching a service provider and you cannot afford their services at that moment, it could be maybe you have the money, but you just can't pay $1,000 or $2,000 or whatever. Speak with them about a payment plan, which is an extension of credit, right? So speak with them about a payment plan or some type of extension of credit that you can work out with them so that you can get the services that you need and grow your business. Lots of times they will do it. I know we do it. And when I say we, I'm talking about myself. I also have some collaborative partners that we work together. I have the Bell team that I keep talking about. Those guys, I know that we all do it. So again, you have to make sure that you do those things. So I'm going to go through the 8 steps really quickly and then hop on here and answer some questions. Step 1, incorporate your business. That's your S Corp, C Corp, LLC. Contact the IRS and get your federal employer identification number. Next, open a business account, right? With your EIN number, not your private social security number. Okay, establish a business telephone number, a real legit business phone, not Google Voice or any of those guys. Open a business credit file, right? So that it will report the business credit to the proper reporting agencies. Obtain a business credit card. It could even be a secured credit card, right? Okay, establish a line of credit with your vendors, really with anyone, but the quickest way is with your vendors and your service providers. I report to the credit bureau for people that are doing that. So for those of you that need that, if you're trying to establish business credit, work with someone who reports, because these are things that will help you establish your business credit along the way without getting in a whole lot of debt. And then the other thing too is pay your bills on time, just like you would with any other agency. So thank you guys so much for being here. I am going now to the questions. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Okay, so Joseph says, what are some locations I can set up a business phone line? You can actually contact some cable providers. So basically you can either get a landline or you could actually get a voice over IP. You can use Vonage. This is not paid. You can use Vonage, or a recommendation. You can use Ring Central. Those are all voice over IP. What I prefer, voice over IP, because one, you have access to your phone system from anywhere and you're not just tied to your physical location, right? The other thing too is a lot of them incorporate fax and teleconferencing and things like that, which you would typically pay separately for. So Joseph, I would suggest looking at a voice over IP system or contacting your local telephone or cable company that provides phone service. That's as simple as you have to do. If you have a brick and mortar business, for example, and you already have cable or even your internet, you could probably just add a phone for that very same price, or, you know, for a package. So you want to make sure that you do that. Kenya says, do you set up your business credit file with Dun and Bradstreet? Yes. Yes. Thank you for mentioning that, Kenya, because for whatever reason that escaped me. Dun and Bradstreet. Dun and Bradstreet. You guys may have heard of a Dun's number. D-U-N as in Nancy S. Dun's number. Do not pay for a Dun's number. It is free. That's why you need to go to Dun and Bradstreet's website, right? Don't pay for a Dun's number. Now, here's the thing. If you're paying somebody to do all of this for you, you're not technically paying for a Dun's number. You're paying them for the service that they are providing. So don't get that confused. But for your DIYers that like to go online, there are a lot of unscrupulous folks that are out there selling access to Dun's numbers that are free. So the answer to the question is yes. You set up your business credit file and profile with Dun and Bradstreet. That is the entity that handles the business credit reporting, right? Very crucial that you do that, because if you don't, you do not have business credit, right? And you can have a bank account without setting up a Dun's number. You can do a lot of these. You can get an FEIN without a Dun's number. You can actually get a business credit card through your bank without having a Dun's number, because all of that is connected to your EIN. But here's the thing. You're not building business credit without true business credit without that Dun's number. You may be building business credit with your local vendors. You may be building business credit through your bank account with your, remember I told you guys, you could get a secured credit card. But other than that, you are not actually building business credit without it. So I want to thank you guys. I hope that this has been absolutely informative, because that was the goal. I hope that this has been informative for you guys. Thank you so much for being a part of Power of Attorney. This show is my baby. I love doing it. Thank you guys so much for sending in your topics that are of a concern to you, that you want to discuss. We also have a private Facebook group called 360 Brand Protection. You can get there through the link in the description. In the 360 Brand Protection Facebook group is really for people that are looking to build generational wealth through their business, right? This is for legacy focused folks. We have serious information. We share information. A lot of the things that you hear me talk about and refer to, those resources are available all the time in our 360 Brand Protection Facebook group. The other thing too is, although this video is here right now, these videos go down every evening after I do it, but they live in our Facebook group. So if you know that you may want access to this video and some of our other videos after the fact, you may want to join our Facebook group. It's a very active group, very interactive. So again, thank you so much for being a part of Power of Attorney. And thank you guys for sending in your questions for Mastermind Monday. I'm excited about what's coming next, and I'm glad to be able to share all of this great information with you guys. So again, check me out. My website is LaTonyaMoore.com. My business Facebook page is I Protect Your Brand with LaTonya Moore. For those of you that have got something out of today's show, please go over to my Facebook page. Give me a star-rated review if you can. Otherwise, just post on the page what you got out of the show, how it has benefited you, or something that you learned. So again, thank you guys so much for being a part of Power of Attorney. And until tomorrow, have a great day.